Hello everyone and now welcome to a game. This game is going to be between Starbuck and Happy, taking place here on Springtime 1.3. Let's go ahead and break things down, get to that 2-minute mark. Starbuck spawning on the top left-hand side of the map as the blue human player. Meanwhile, Happy on the bottom right-hand side of the map as the yellow undead. Undead versus human, opening things up. Altar of Darkness, Crypt, and a Ziggurat here. And the heroes will really determine the pacing of the game. And then we'll try and predict what's going to go down. Starbuck opening up things with the classic Archmage. Meanwhile, we are looking at a Crypt Lord first coming across from Happy. So Happy using that Crypt Lord first, going with what I like to call a go-wide army, an army that has a lot of units early on with the ability to summon up beetles, use that Rod of Necromancy for temporary skeletons, and then also adding in those, well, very fragile ghouls. All right, already coming across here, a lot of critters on the map. That's why some skeletons were already able to be born. I believe the beetle or the crypto is going to make its way over, go straight after these units here, go after the ones that are easiest to take down, Ice Troll Priest and then the Ice Troll Trappers. And well, once those are down, more beetles will be popping up out of the ground, being able to summon up more units, perhaps getting even more, units out of this, units out of also that Rod of Necromancy. Meanwhile, Archmage has decided to take the center location here, picks up a Cloak of Shadows, and will get to level 2. Starbuck getting to level 2 early, always important for the human army. Meanwhile, Happy going with an expansion attempt. There's that Ritual Dagger going to be able to heal up more units, summon up more beetles, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Looking at this army, there are 2 trained units besides the hero, and everything else is summoned. So this summoned army can deal a lot of damage. It can surround, and without access to early AoE, well, these units are just going to be able to push out more damage than normal. Meanwhile, Archmage off to the north going after these units here. Water Elementals quickly turning into puddles. We're going to see the Archmage perhaps get into a little bit of trouble here. Militia going to finish things off. There goes an Impale, taking down that Forest Troll Trapper and stunning all of the remaining units. Archmage could be in trouble. Instead uses that Cloak of Shadows. And well, I guess accessorize right there as the Archmage able to use his clothing to get out of a tight jam. Meanwhile, Archmage still making its way over, trying to go after going after one low hit point ghoul. That ghoul is down to 33 hit points. A couple more easy shots should take him out. Meanwhile, the Archmage, forced to back away down to 35, or able to do up to 35 damage. But that ghoul, well, no armor. It's a roll of the dice to see who ends up getting that kill there. Archmage does get up to level 3, will be dropping down level 2 water elementals in what I believe he expects to be the expansion here. All right, Staff of Teleportation already inbound. Are we going to see an Impale? Water elemental now getting dropped, and as you know, the water elementals do deal large amounts of damage when the building is not yet done. All right, there is no armor on a building while it is being constructed. While it's being upgraded, it has its base, whatever the base armor is. So, that's why, yeah. If you guys didn't know that, no, a little food for knowledge in WarCraft 3. Coming back around, back off to the north, you can see all of these beetles are still swarming here. This one peasant going to get taken out again, as well the beetles are just trying to, or the Archmage and these footmen are just trying to handle this little infestation of all of these units. 1 beetle down, 2 beetles down, as the Crypt Lord gets to level 3 as well. Most likely going for those level 2 beetles, going to be able to summon them up. Those beetles essentially 15 to 18 damage, dealing damage similar to a footman, or I believe better than a footman, just having a little bit less hit points. Or, well, the footmen attack faster, so perhaps the beetles do a little bit less, but together the 2 of them, when their powers combine, so to speak, are able to outclass a footman. 37 supplied compared to 38. A lot of running in between these 2 locations here. Archmage, well, trying to figure out how to take down these ghouls. The ghouls are just pretty much just running over, and I think Happy may have lost control of his units right there. They seem to just become stationary for a quick second, and well, one quickly taken out. Thank you for the donation. Happy Halloween. May the great pumpkin bring you candy and no cavities. Yeah, the candy Not too much sugar, apparently. As we study more about sugar, sugar ends up reducing your immune system. So one of the reasons why flu season starts right after Halloween or right around Halloween is because, well, overall the collective immune systems of Americans are a bit more compromised. A couple of ghouls getting taken down there. Archmage getting separated by that Crypt Lord who shows up. However, the two water elementals seem to be more than enough to handle these beetles who are trying to dive in. A couple of footmen are there to add in a little bit of additional damage as well. Meanwhile, the Archmage is just keeping his distance, pulling the Crypt Lord away. This is just good map control by Starbuck. Happy seems a little bit lost here, not quite sure what he wants to do. Normally, Happy is very decisive in his game style, in his play. It feels like he's in the driver's seat and putting in pressure. Right now, he's just looking for opportunities to not lose units and perhaps shut down this expo. However, things are not looking all that well as the Archmage is already past level 3 or getting very close to level 4 now, but the Archmage has to be careful. It is down to 191 hit points. Remember, the Archmage is a very fragile hero and now being forced to retreat back. There's that Cloak of Shadows that he used earlier. Is the Archmage going to go pick it up like, wait, I remember this accessory. It saved my life earlier. Maybe I can do it again. All right. No Arcane Vault here. We're looking at, there's an Arcane Vault here, a couple of low hit point footmen. There's a Lumber Mill, still no Blacksmith. So as well as Starbuck is doing in the micro portion of this game, getting a lot of use out of his units, he is not winning the battle in terms of overall tech. You can see that we are already, teching the tier 2, getting up a second crypt. So yeah, perhaps Happy is also a little bit behind in that position. All right, Archmage, is he going to try and, well, go after all of these units, use a Scroll of Regeneration, doing a little bit of fighting, dancing back and forth. Archmage trying to retreat back away. An Impale from the Crypt Lord would have spelled problems, as the Archmage is now down there. There's a Scroll of Regeneration being used. They're just trying to get a little bit of additional hit points. Boots of Speed allowing him to outrun, as we're looking at a couple of, well, low hit point footmen about to get taken down. Crypt Lord down to 47 hit points, 48, but the Beetle able to get that lasting kill and get that little bit of experience as well. Archmage gets up to level 4 here. Archmage wants to summon up more, perhaps try to finish off all of these ghouls. One more ghoul going to get taken down. There goes another. Perhaps try to block this ghoul from being able to escape. No, that ghoul will be able to escape out, but not before taking large amounts of damage from the Archmage and Water Elemental as well. All right, that Blacksmith does need to get completed. Already upgrading the castle, getting up a Mountain King. I wouldn't have been surprised if it was a Paladin first, as normally at this point in stage in the game, you would get that Mountain King first, but because of how low that Archmage is and how close he's come to death in the past couple of minutes, I think trying to go for a Paladin to get those heals, even though it does delay that Stormbolt just a little bit, may have been well, an acceptable choice. I can't say whether or not it would have been the right choice, but an acceptable choice there. All right, Ghoul looking to get in an attack on the Archmage, does get it. Clarity Potion and Scroll of Regeneration now stopped. Archmage slowly regenerating from 400 hit points now. All right. Mountain King is out on the battlefield. We are getting up a second barracks. Are we getting up the flying machines? No, Blacksmith is not yet done. We see full mining by Happy down on the south tier. There is a Necropolis summoned up as well, allowing for a Scroll of Town Portal inbound. We are getting up a Death Knight as the second hero. Lich will probably be the third one, as the Slaughterhouse, well, trying to get summoned up. The Slaughterhouse, incredibly important. Obsidian statues. By taking down the Slaughterhouse, you slow down overall the oncoming support there, or perhaps can even delay that all-important destroyer form upgrade. All right. Water Elementals here. Mountain King shows up to the party, wants to get in some Stormbolts, wants to pick off some units. Death Knight now available out on the battlefield as well. And well, with that said, Death Coil onto a Water Elemental. I don't know if that was a misclick there, but Water Elemental, it does get taken down. Normally, you do not see Water Elementals get targeted at all. Meanwhile, the Beetles are just getting cleaned up here. The Footmen, the Water Elementals, importantly being able to push in pressure and focus down and pick off those low hit point units. 47 supply compared to 44. Starbuck is pushing in, even though he has overall the smaller army of the two. Death Knight now next to here. We see a Wand of Negation. So the Wand of Negation used by Happy next to that Tomb of Relics to remove a lot of the hit points off of these water elementals here. One water elemental about to get taken down, another about to get taken down. Death Knight is going to be able to get off another Death Coil onto that Crypt Lord. That is the question. Well, buying a little bit of time by using a Scroll of Town Portal to regenerate some mana, and then perhaps going to try and use a Death Coil to save up that Crypt Lord. No, Death Knight just leading the charge here. Are we going to see more damage getting racked up there? There's that Death Coil that we were expecting. There's a Stormbolt. Crypt Lord staying steady at 300 hit points. And now the units are going to be trying to back away again. Hello to Russia. Coming back through 50 over 70 supply compared to 49 over 64. Archmage ready to put in pressure. Meanwhile, top right-hand side of the map, Forest Wolf, Archmage with Obsidian Statue going to go ahead and put pressure onto the Obsidian Statues here. Death Knight sitting at level 2. I'm not quite sure what the Archmage is thinking about doing in this spot. He is really diving in and just trying to add damage, perhaps try to disrupt a little bit of that creeping. Meanwhile, Mountain King is creeping on his own, and the Paladin is going to come bearing gifts of Staff of Sanctuary and Orb of Fire to perhaps further delay any healing. Archmage going to, well, try and retreat back here. There is that Paladin. There, Staff of Sanctuary, there is that Orb of Fire doing a little bit of bonus damage. Mountain King just shy of level 3. All right, perhaps trying to get into the center. Starbuck during this time was putting in pressure, went for dual Griffin Aviaries, and is now training up Sundering Blades alongside these Knights. They are going to be extremely helpful against these Crypt Fiends. And what is going to go down here? Archmage finding a couple of Obsidian Statues in open field here. Paladin needs to perhaps try and retreat back there. That's going to be an impale. A bunch of low hit point footmen could get taken down. One footman down, another footman down. I believe a third is going to get taken down as well. Or was that a water elemental? Oh, it was a water elemental. And Happy is now building that hero levels to try and catch up to Starbuck. All right, level 3 on the Mountain King is the big deal here. Still only level 2 onto that Death Knight. Death Knight needs just a little bit more, and this could be the name of the game. Meanwhile, Paladin going to try and creep out of this location with by himself. No Archmage or Mountain King to take any of that experience. Death Knight may be able to come across here. We're going to see some repairs onto that Arcane Tower. No, we do not. There's a Scroll of Town Portal outbound, and there's that level 2 on that Paladin in time. All right, ready to go into that engagement. Death Knight still sitting at level 2, and here we are. Beetle's going to try and engage. Nothing to really go after the Destroyer, though. The Water Elemental is getting devoured, and then now only the Paladin, or is it the Archmage? Archmage with the Orb of Fire able to attack up onto that Destroyer. All right, a little bit of a wall right here. The farm and the blacksmith trying to hold off this onslaught of units. The Knights unable to get into position. There's a couple of flying machines, and that is it. More flying machines need to be added, but we are currently upside down on supply. And without any reinforcements, this could potentially be a problem. All right. Trying to finish off some more units. A couple of quick volleys right there. Destroyer is going to be able to finish things off, getting level 3 to the Death Knight finally, as that workshop about to get taken down. There's some more Devour Magic. Flying machines trying to engage, impale onto the Knights here, as well the peasants are back into their normal peasant form, no longer in Destroyer. 69 supply compared to 70. Both sides still engaging. Flying machines trying to getting trained on up here, as we see flying machines getting webbed down. The Knights with their Sundering Blades need to really dive in onto all of these Crypt Fiends and try and take them down. That workshop is still cranking out units, surprisingly, as the Archmage is still coming back around on the other side. Archmage sitting at level 4, Crypt Lord sitting at level 5, Mountain King trying to go after the Death Knight. Death Knight ends up jumping into the Goblin Zeppelin, as we're going to be looking at a couple of Crypt Fiends not getting taken down since there's no Death Knight for those heals. However, without any more support, Mountain King, Potion of Invulnerability being used there. Are we going to see a Stormbolt going down anywhere? Death Knight perhaps needed a Stormbolt, but the Mountain King did not use it. Paladin could perhaps go for a Holy Light onto that Mountain King as well. The heroes are separated by Starbuck, and Happy is just diving into this spot here. Beautiful pickup by the Goblin Zeppelin. Archmage gets taken down, and in the final seconds of the game, Happy playing like Happy, dominating with the micro, and just cold and calculating. being able to escape with that Death Knight, and the fact that Starbuck, well, he needs to go after that high priority target in that Death Knight. If he caught that Death Knight down, it would have been perhaps game over for Starbuck. Instead, he was able to run over to the Goblin Laboratory, get a Goblin Zeppelin, jump inside. Once having access to that Goblin Zeppelin, able to have the Death Knight in play, be able to heal targets, nuke targets, and then have a place to jump back into if a storm bolt was thrown by the Mountain King, which it was. In that time, well, he was able to bait out the Archmage and then ultimately secure the win. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.